It's Monday night meat and potatoes. It's Tommy and James here with our first podcast ever. We have our guest, my father, Jeff Freshney. So we're just going to go around the room and start ourselves off with some introductions. I think we start with our guest today, put him right on the spot. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Jeff. I'm 61 years old. I'm James's dad. Been his dad for as long as he's been alive.
Oh, that's a little arguable, isn't it? Times you were at work or you had to take a shit. You weren't my father when you were taking a shit, I don't think.
Yeah. You know I was there.
Tommy, go ahead.
Tommy Knowlton. This is my first ever pod being a guest or hosting. We decided to do this pod. I'm excited. Let's see where this leads. This is coming out of Michigan, so we're going to probably cover quite a few Detroit sports topics, anything going on in the state of Michigan. We're going to do some food reviews. Today we have in store, we're going to test out Best Barbecue. As far as I am concerned, I married. We're going on, oh boy, I better not get this wrong. We were married in 18, so we've been married 6 years, going on 7, and that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of me.
So, yeah, for those of you that aren't here, Tommy's wearing some very thin pajama bottoms, and we can tell he's excited from here.
He's Zoom ready.
Yeah, as for me, James Freshney, the old man's my father. I don't think I've ever heard Tommy nervous on a microphone, but you stumbled a little bit, so it's kind of...
I did stumble.
It's adorable. But, you're usually pretty all right on a mic. But anyway, my experience stems back all the way to high school when I was a radio host for a local high school radio station. I own a trivia company, used to own a karaoke company, and I've done this kind of stuff a few times. So if I suck, we're going to blame me. If we suck, we're going to blame me. Meat and Potatoes came up with that just because we're going to probably do a lot of food reviews. We're big guys. We'll probably delve deeper into that with Tommy having things like gastric, me having up and down diets, gaining and losing 100 pounds a million times over my life, or even my father sitting here who's probably breathing heavy enough for you to hear him. He just had a stent put in his heart because he'll eat butter like ice cream. So we'll definitely get into more of that. With that being said, I think we kick it off with a little fun thing, and then we can get into some more local topics if you guys are good with this. I want to blind rank candy bars. We're just going to get right to a fun game.
Okay.
I have, I think, 8 or 10. I think there's 10 here, candy bars. And we're going to rank them. You guys rank them 1 to 10 blind without knowing what comes next.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Snickers.
1. Especially the ice cream.
This is just the candy bars, fatty.
Telling you.
So Snickers, all-time favorite candy bar. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like you don't even know what's coming next.
Don't even know what's coming
next. 1
next.
is the best, 10 is the worst.
Absolutely.
I'm going to put Snickers up there at about 8.
8 is there's 7
8.
better?
Well, I got it backwards. I'm going to put it at 3.
Okay.
There's 2 better.
2 better. Okay.
Do you know what 2 they are and hoping you're on the list, or you
Hoping they're on the list.
hoping they're on the list? So I already know these candy bars. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't like Snickers very much. I love caramel, and I love peanut butter, and I love chocolate, and all those type of things. When you add dry peanuts to a candy bar, it just ruins it. The texture, it's just not for me. I want my candy bars to be smooth.
So you're going to hate on payday then?
I don't. I know I know I'm going in with peanut butter, or I'm sorry, peanuts. I know when I bite into a payday, I'm getting a mouthful of nuts, and yes, we can talk about that. But when I grab a Snickers, I don't know if I'm blind grabbing a Snickers. If I have a plate of candy bars, and I grab what I think is a Milky Way, and I have a bite of peanuts, I'm going to be pissed off because I do not want a Snickers. I think a Milky Way is a better candy bar in the same
Put
category.
Milky Way on a plate and I'm done eating.
You don't like Milky Ways?
I don't like Milky Way.
Interesting.
Now, Becca, she loves the Milky Way. Yeah, nope, not
Well,
me.
that brings us right to number 2 then. Milky Way.
Oh, man.
20.
I don't know how can you like Snickers so much and not like a Milky Way?
Totally
it is the
different.
same thing without nuts.
No.
It is chocolate caramel nougat. Isn't that what's a Snickers?
I'm
No. The
trying
nougat
to go.
is horrible.
I'm trying to go in my head what other 8 candy bars could be on that list.
So I pulled these out of my ass. I'm just going to tell you. I didn't look them up. I went off my head and went, I'm going to pick these candy bars. None of these are going to be too obscure. I'm not going to throw like a whatchamacallit on here, which, I guess is popular, but most people are not going and grabbing a whatchamacallit off the store.
Unless you're fat like me.
Well, we might go in there and buy 8 candy bars at once, so...
I guess it would make the top 10, but I would probably put it around 10.
So, dead last for both of you.
Yep.
Milky Way would be like number 2 for me. All right, next up then, the crunchy peanut buttery Butterfinger.
Oh, man. I have thoughts on this. It was my number 1, but they changed the recipe and it does not taste like it used to. I couldn't care less if I ever even have Butterfinger ever again.
Interesting. So Milky Way is at 10, but you are forced to put it at 9.
Had Butterfinger been the same as it was 2 to 3 years ago, Butterfinger would have been number 1, Snickers 2. Now Butterfinger don't even make my top 10.
No.
They changed the recipe.
All right. Pops?
I'm going to put that at a 5.
Right in the middle of the pack. Butterfinger for me, I hate the peanut butter stuff getting stuck in my teeth. It sticks harder than any other candy in my opinion. I'm putting that one at a 9. And I'm not looking at the rest of my list. I made this yesterday. I don't even remember what's on this list, but I'm putting it at 9. I think the off-brand, people would call it an off-brand version of the Butterfinger. I think it's a Fifth Avenue. Is it the Fifth Avenue or is it the Score bar? I think it's a Fifth Ave.
There is a Fifth Avenue bar.
So yes. that is the better version of a Butterfinger, in my opinion.
And I think Zagnut is the reverse Butterfinger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's like the crunchy peanut butter on the outside. Yeah. I haven't had one of those in forever either, but then again, you were born in 1922, so you know all the candies, especially the Great Depression Neckos, things like that.
Love them.
All right, next up. Ooh, I am glad I saved number 10 because this is a number 10 for me. Mounds Bar.
Ooh, I didn't expect that one to be on there. Used to hate them. Denise made me love them.
I can't even give them a redeeming factor of having an almond in the middle here.
I just can't. I'm not a coconut person, but yet it works.
Okay.
I give it a 4.
If Almond Joy did not exist, they would be amazing. But if I would go Almond Joy, I like the almond. But having been said that, since Almond Joy has not been mentioned yet, I'll go 6.
6. Okay, so it's gonna stay dead last for me. I am a texture eater. I will eat anything. If you saw me, you'd understand why I said that. But coconut has a texture I just cannot get behind. Although, now that I mention it, there was something I ate maybe a month ago that had coconut. Oh, I do know. I remember what it was. It was like a Hawaiian Dream piece of cake. Me and Shelby, my fiance Shelby, we were looking at places to make a cake for our wedding, which is not even for like 2 years, but did some samples, and they had this Hawaiian cake, and it was pineapple, coconut, and like cream and yellow cake, and I adored it. It was just so good. But I'm not a coconut person. I don't like the texture of coconut at all. So I'm gonna stick that at number 10. No redeeming almond even in it. That might have bumped it up to a number 9 for me, but I'm gonna leave it at number 10. So that brings us next. International favorite. Japanese candy makers have a lot of fun with this one. Kit Kat. Just the original.
I love it. So I'm going to probably say 3 because I got Snickers at 1. I'm reserving number 2. So yeah, Kit Kat 3. Those things bang. They're awesome.
If they're frozen, I'll put them up there in the top half. Not frozen, I got to put them in the bottom half. Probably about 8.
8.
Something about the cookie inside of there.
I don't mind the wafer. I like it. It's crunchy. It's light. It's good. The chocolate's pretty decent. I'm gonna go with a 6 or 7. I'm gonna put it at 7.
I'll tell you something else. People better not eat those whole. They better break those things in half, or they're savages. I'll tell you that much.
I will forever do that in front of you to piss you off now. Thank you for telling me more things to torture you with. Well, here's the ultimate question, though. Right or left Twix?
I don't really pick a side, but I'm trying to visualize myself on Raph and the Rapper.
Don't hit the microphone. Bong.
Yeah. I'm actually miming unwrapping a Kit Kat.
It was
I
Kit Kat
probably-
that did the commercials, right? Right or left Twix?
Yeah.
What was that, Twix?
It was Twix.
Fuck, I just said it right in front of you. Okay. Yeah, well, that's coming up. So, okay.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said that. We're just going to do that next now. I'm going to go out of order. Twix. We're going Twix.
2.
Twix is pretty good.
That was the spot I was reserving.
4.
Twix is my number one. It beat out Reese's recently. I would say this Halloween. That parental tax that you get to go through your kids' candy.
Yeah.
Twix is what I ended up stealing most of. Those and Whoppers. Kids don't seem to like Whoppers. Those molten milk balls, I love them. So I steal all of those.
So you know what I find interesting is that you hate Snickers. I rank that number 1. But Twix is 1 and 2 for us.
Yeah.
So we agree with Twix being the bomb and Snickers.
It's because I don't like a mouthful of nuts, Tommy. You guys like your mouthful of nuts? It's fine. It's okay. We'll talk about it later. We can have a psychiatrist on here. My buddy Lance, when he's in town, he helps the mind. We can make you admit that you might have some tendencies. It's
You
fine.
better have my number 1 on there.
What? I couldn't hear you over the microphone that you're kicking.
I didn't touch the mic.
You did. That cable on there,
Oh,
it comes through.
Yeah, that receive sound.
You're so far back, I turned your mic up, so everything's really clear. Anyway, number 1 for me for Twix. Pops, what do you think?
Twix?
Twix.
I gave it a 4, didn't I?
I don't know. Did we already cover that?
4.
All right. Number 4. So, okay, let's talk about it then. Left or right Twix. Not Kit Kat. Left or right Twix.
I start in the middle.
Ladies must love you. I'm going left Twix. Gotta go left Twix. I'm right-handed, left Twix. Give them the opportunity, the chance.
Yeah, like I said, I was visualizing Kit Kat. Doing the same thing with the Twix. That's probably the left.
Yeah. All right. So let's go Reese's. A lot of people's number 1.
Used to be.
Used to. I agree. It used to be my number
They
1.
just don't taste the same anymore.
There is. I completely agree. It always tastes like they're stale. Like the peanut butter is stale almost. I don't know if you guys ever open them up and they seem to have that chocolate bloom where there's like whiteness on the chocolate. And then the thing that pisses me off most about it, get rid of the wax paper because I'm sick of losing part of my chocolate to wax paper. You peel out the Reese's and then you gotta look like a savage licking wax paper while you're driving 65 miles an hour down 696.
There's always probably a 1/10 of the cup still stuck to the wax.
I don't
paper
care if
right
it's
in the middle.
1/100th of the cup. I'm a fat man. I want my chocolate. I paid 100% of the price. I want 100% of my chocolate.
I think the reason that it dropped for me was just because the peanut butter doesn't really taste like peanut butter anymore.
Have you ever had the Reese's peanut butter in a jar? It's disgusting.
Oh,
You can't make a peanut butter sandwich with a peanut butter and jelly or any of the concoctions you do with normal peanut butter. It's gritty, waxy, fake peanut butter that's probably mostly sugar and hydrogenated oils. I'm not a health nut by any means, but it is gross.
well then we should probably in a future pod do best peanut butter.
We already talked about that. We're definitely going to cover best peanut butter. And we can also talk about, there's a local confectionery, Sanders, which I'm going to argue with anyone. It is Sanders. I've been calling it Saunders my entire damn life. It is Sanders. Buy them. You call them, it says, welcome to Sanders. Thanks for calling Sanders. I never knew that. Anyway, Sanders makes peanut butter block, which a lot of people I'm sure have had.
Love it.
But they now have these oversized peanut butter cups, and I went there literally last week, and I got one, and it is just honest to God the best peanut butter cup I've ever had. Real thick, gooey, creamy peanut butter inside of some of the best chocolate you're ever gonna get. It's right here in
It's not
Metro
the same
Detroit.
peanut butter that they're putting in the blocks.
It's something different about it. It might be the same peanut butter, but the ratio of chocolate to peanut butter is more to my liking. It's more peanut butter, less chocolate, which brings me to those Reese's. Like, you guys have seen all the different kinds of Reese's out there. I've tried a few of them, like the caramel Reese's cup, disgusting. They have a Reese's Puffs, like the cereal inside the Reese's bar, which I really like. It adds a crunch, but doesn't add different flavors because they're already Reese's flavored. I love that one. But the one I don't get is the chocolate lovers Reese's, where they have less peanut butter and more chocolate.
Never tried it.
Yeah, it's not good. Don't even bother.
Far as ranking, I already did a 10th, so that'll probably be a 9. But I'm going to cheat. I will tell you the Christmas trees I think are the bomb, but I can't eat very many of them. Like maybe during the season, maybe buy 1 or 2.
Cases?
Yeah, the Reese's Christmas trees or the Reese's.
No, I said
eggs.
cases.
Oh,
That's kind of funny because I bought a bag of them, and
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think they're better than the normals.
Yep.
The normal Reese's.
I don't like Reese's cups, but the eggs during Easter time.
It's all the holiday ones. It's the
Yeah.
Christmas trees, the eggs, the pumpkins. They're better because they have more peanut butter and less chocolate. I'll stand by that.
Yeah,
I want more
They
peanut butter.
almost taste like they're more fresh too.
I mean, I'd hope so. Unless you're eating Christmas things from last year.
No, I mean they taste like they're a lot fresher when you buy the seasonal ones
Yeah.
than the cups are. It's almost like you said earlier, they turn white and everything. It looks like they're 6 months old.
Reese's, get on your game. You went from like everyone's favorite to you're not getting liked very much.
Bad enough they downsized.
Reese's, I'm going. Everything's downsized to you. Oh my god, we'll get into that.
It's a fact. Look it up.
What's
Shrinkflation.
shrinkflation? But my dad also has like my eyes are going badflation. Reese's for me, I think I have number 9 and number 8 open. It's going bottom of my list. Whatever's left. All right, got a couple more here. You brought it up earlier. Payday.
Oh man. It's definitely top 5. I don't know what spots I have remaining, so I think I do have a 4 remaining. So I'll take 4.
I have no idea what I got left, but I'm gonna put it at a 2.
You guys like your nuts in your mouth. I get it.
Love my nuts.
That's fine. Go for it. Payday's okay. I'm gonna put middle of the rank, 5 or 6, whatever's left for me. I don't like its alternate chocolate covered candy bar. I don't like a Baby Ruth.
Oh,
I like a Payday. It's okay. It's mid tier, but you put chocolate on it. The Baby Ruth goes bottom. I would put it on 11 if I could.
I don't like Baby Ruth.
I like the Baby Ruth. But if I see it in the store, I'm not gravitating towards it. Having said that, if in this list, I think I got 8 open, so I'll say 8.
Well, Baby Ruth's not on the list. I'm just talking about it.
Oh, okay.
If your name was Sloth, you might be putting it at number 1. I got a confession to make. I've never seen the Goonies.
Uh-oh.
We can talk about it later. I've never seen the Goonies.
So we should discuss at one time what are movies that are popular that you have not seen.
I have an entire list of movies that I claim to be embarrassed to have not seen. We can talk about them in another episode, but I'll go for a few right now. The Goonies is one of them. I've never seen Aladdin.
Oh boy.
And I'm a Disney fanatic. I love Disney animated movies, especially the new ones. Moana, that's my girl.
I love Moana.
I haven't seen Pulp Fiction all the way through. I can't get through it. I've tried multiple times. I don't like it. And it's fine. I don't like most Quentin Tarantino movies, but Pulp Fiction I've never been able to finish it. I've gotten through maybe halfway 2 or 3 times, and I just can't do it.
You gotta watch Goonies.
I will. So Shelby really is trying to egg me on about this one. I can't get behind it because I don't appreciate that it likes Reese's Pieces over peanut butter M&Ms. But E.T., I've never seen E.T. Yeah, these are some movies I've been given shit my entire life for not seeing. But you know what? We'll dedicate a whole episode to these.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scarface. I've never watched Scarface.
And see, there's a problem there. That's an amazing movie.
And see
That's on America.
I'm pretty sure that's Cuban.
Made in America.
It's just I haven't sat down and watched it. I've seen so many movies. I mean,
I'll tell you this. I didn't see Scarface until I was probably 16 or 17. It is slow burning for the first 45 minutes. But once Tony Montana's character starts getting power, oh my God, that movie is amazing. Once he learns, I'm not just, a bottom tier guy.
So I collect physical media when it comes to Blu-rays. I have over 1,000 Blu-rays. I think I even own the movie, and I still haven't watched it yet.
I mean, as someone that collects things, I have a record collection with half of my records still closed and shrink wrap, so I get that.
Give me that last candy bar. I want to know what it is.
We got 2 more.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 more. 3 Musketeers.
Oh, absolutely horrid.
Don't have a number 10 left, do you? This is why you got to think about these things.
No. The only one I know I got left is a 1.
You haven't hit number 1 yet?
Oh, no.
Did you say Ono or Uno?
Well, they
No, how's that?
Um, man, as far as ranking, it's not bad. I don't hate it, but
It's just got a horrid aftertaste.
Well, let me ask this.
Horrid.
I'm not actually picking fun at your age this time. Were you alive when Three Musketeers was a Neapolitan candy bar?
No.
Because it originally was not just chocolate nougat; it was vanilla and strawberry as well. That's why it's Three Musketeers. I want to say that was World War II, but I didn't know how long it lasted because they had a chocolate shortage during the World War I or World War II. It's one of the two. That's why Three Musketeers existed. It was a chocolate shortage, and they wanted to send the bars over to the troops. But I don't know how long it lasted after the war. Anyway, with that being said, Three Musketeers I think is garbage. There's nothing to it. The only thing I can remember is as a kid, I for some reason liked to eat the milk chocolate off the nougat and just be left with this gob of nougat, and then I'd eat that because I'm a weird person.
I'm giving it a 10.5. I'm sorry. I'm going off the scale.
if I'm staying on the scale, man, I think I have. I'm not even sure what numbers I have left. I think I got 5 and 7. I'll take the 7.
We probably, if we were more prepared, we would have had you write these down as we were going. But
Yeah,
it's all right.
I grabbed a piece of paper and a pen like 2 numbers ago, and I'm like, oh, I should have done that in the beginning.
We'll remember it for next time.
Just a little bit of trivia. I did look it up. 1945.
Okay. So World War II. I was right in the first guess. That brings us to our last candy bar, and I think it's an underrated candy bar. I'm going to put this personally at whatever's left in the higher tier of my list. Crunch Bar.
Ooh.
If that's your last one, I got to go with number 1 then.
That's why you got to be careful with these things. Number 1 Crunch Bar. I love it. I'm going to buy you that for every Christmas from now on.
With a side of Heath Bar.
Heath bars are great.
That's the one I was waiting to hear.
Really? Heath would have been your number 1?
Yeah. Put them in the freezer. Oh my God, they're so good.
I'm not even sure what Heath is made of. Is it toffee?
Yeah.
Heath is a toffee bar, yep.
Yep,
Okay.
Throw it in the freezer, and then you just whack it on the table and take those little pieces, and the chocolate melts.
I'm
it's
trying to think
so
if
good.
I've even ever had a Heath bar.
I might even have one here if I look when we're done here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it gets number 5 in the rankings because I think that's the last number I have left.
Now, a couple side notes here. We talked about Butterfinger. We talked about Crunch Bar. What about Bunch of Crunch and Butterfinger BBs? Were they better or worse than the candy bar themselves?
Oh, man.
I think Bunch of Crunch is better than the candy bar, but I think Butterfinger BBs are worse.
Well, going back to what I originally said, saying that Butterfinger would have been number 1 for me. Yeah, I would say the BBs were worse, but you couldn't. Man, the '90s marketing on those, even with the Butterfinger with the Simpsons, it could not be beat.
Yeah, what's her face? She was voice of Bart Simpson. It's not going to bother me right now. But I did find out, fun fact, a little caveat here, and I'm going to be full of these while we do these podcasts. The voice of Bart Simpson is the aunt of who's that big star right now? Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's the aunt of Sabrina Carpenter, so fame runs in the family.
Wow. I'm looking here, and
Cartwright.
Yeah, Nancy
Cartwright.
Cartwright.
There we go.
I follow her on TikTok. She's super adorable and super cool.
I heard she's retiring from The Voice.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I just heard it like last week that she, after, well, how many years? 35, 36 years?
She just had a TikTok out yesterday, and she said 800 plus episodes. So
Man.
that's insane. Simpsons has been running since 1989, and I only remember that because it's a year before I was born.
It's unbelievable, though.
Another fun fact, because AKA I'm the factoid guy, and they're fun to me, but they're not fun to everyone. But the Simpsons, do you guys know why they're yellow?
No.
That was a joke played by the producers of The Simpsons because they wanted everyone to think that their TV settings were off when they first aired it. So that's why they were yellow originally. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or remember the pilot episode of The Simpsons. They were just so different. The animation was so off, and the voices were off, and it was just a whole different series back then. Anyway.
I'd like to go back. Pamela Hayden is the one who is retiring. She voiced Millhouse.
Okay.
Everything's coming out Millhouse.
Gotcha.
Well, I can see her Cartwright retiring, too, because she's 67 years old.
That voice ain't going to hold up very much longer to
Right.
do that voice.
I don't know. I mean, she voices, 400 characters in her life? I mean, It's like a muscle. She works it out all the time. She'll probably be good until the day she dies. But going back, I digress. The one other thing I had was, I know you brought out the Snickers candy bar. If you throw the Twix candy bar in a candy bar thing, they're plus 100. Twix candy bar beats Snickers candy bar any day of the week.
I disagree.
Yeah, you can disagree.
Yeah.
You know, I respect your opinion, but just know you're wrong.
One candy bar I'm surprised was not mentioned was Nutrageous.
Nutrageous. I don't even know if I've had one.
They were the bomb back in the day, and I seen them at the Meyer gas station a couple weeks ago, and I said to Becca, "Oh man, I have to have one of these." I had 2 bites of it. I don't know if it's the gastric thing with the sugar, but oh my, it was too much. It was too much for me, and I was like, I don't see myself getting this again. But yeah, back early 2000s, late 90s, I loved those things, and they went off the rails for me. But it could be a personal thing, may not be the actual candy bar itself.
I think it goes back to you just like nuts in your mouth. That's all there is to it. All right. So yeah, that does conclude what I have for candy bars for today.
Okay.
We can get into some weirder ones on the next episode or future episodes. I feel like our natural talking is going to go to a lot of movies and a lot of food, so let's just be honest there. So
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of who we are. Video games, movies, and food.
I don't even know if video games would say is my forte. I play them. I used to play them a lot more, but they don't keep my attention the way they used to. So, and if it's not Dig Dug or Galaga, my dad ain't involved.
Back a few years ago, it was Destiny for me. I played Destiny like crazy. And
we played Destiny like crazy.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You played with your brother.
Yeah, my brother Rick.
And then I just kind of fell off, and I haven't played.
It was around when Destiny 2 came out. I think I played it for a bit, but we can get into that.
Yeah,
more.
that we can go down wormhole with that.
Yeah,
So.
Atari 2600. That's the game system nowadays.
yeah, from the 80s, I believe. I believe wasn't there a pornographic game for the Atari? It was just like
Something with an Indian in it.
Yeah, it was just it was pornographic, but it was just like a
Probably
pixel of boobs.
I was gonna say it was probably just a dot.
No, I think if I remember correctly, didn't the Indian get raped?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think I've seen snippets of it on the interwebs. With that being said, no segue, no transition. Let's talk about something dear and near to all of us here. Detroit Lions.
Oh boy,
this season took so much out of me. Me and my dad are season ticket holders. We were second-year season ticket holders. We got in at the perfect time. We saw the playoffs. We saw our first playoff win in umpteenth years, 30-something years. That was amazing last year. Won't lie. Shed a tear when I was at the stadium. We won that against the Los Angeles Rams, against our old quarterback. That was amazing. It was saddening and disheartening when we went out in the playoffs last year. This year had such higher hopes. We were 15-2, right?
yes.
And then we get our first week bye, which I don't know, have we ever had in the Super Bowl era?
No,
I don't even think we've had that.
Not that I can think of.
no.
And then to get just demolished by the Washington Redskins. I'm going to call them the Redskins. I know they're the Commanders. It's just old habits die hard. But to get demolished by a rookie quarterback at home, with guys coming back off of IR, that we were supposed to be better than we were, and we just flatlined out there. I mean, I didn't watch the rest of the playoffs. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. So if you want to talk about it, go for it. I can't even talk about it.
We played an ugly game.
It was terrible.
It was a horrible, horrible game all the way around.
To have that much hype.
The turnovers were ridiculous.
Yeah. Just that much hype all season. I expected to lose a couple. I expected to drop a couple games to some good teams, but to go into the playoffs and just drop the ball figuratively and literally like that just, it hurt me. It took everything out of me. The entire season felt like a waste, and it's disheartening, especially coming from a Lions fan. We have so many years of bad seasons and coach changes and personnel changes and management changes, and we finally get a team that's doing well, and we have a real Super Bowl contender, and then Aiden Hutchinson goes down, and then Anzalone goes down, and all of a sudden our defense was so beat up. and we were still pulling wins. And it just it took the air out of me when we lost to the Commanders.
On a good note, though, you mentioned Hutch. Did you see he's running sprints now?
I did see that. He looks a little slower than he did, but he's not 100% yet.
Not yet, but it's a good sign.
Well, my question to you then, which loss hurt more? Last year against San Francisco or this year against Washington?
This year.
It has to be this year. And last
this year.
Last year, losing to the 49ers sucked because I know we were the better team, and I know going into last year's Super Bowl, the Lions could have beat either of those teams. The 49ers and the Chiefs looked lethargic and anemic and just all around terrible last year. I think that was a boring Super Bowl. Like I said, I did not watch this year, but the Eagles were such contenders this year. They were the only ones that worried me. I think we could have beat the Chiefs wholeheartedly. The Eagles in the NFC Championship game would have given us trouble, but I do think we would have fought our hardest against them. But I got to say, this year against the Commanders definitely hurt worse.
Okay, well, I mean, this is probably not a nuanced take, but I feel that last year was worse. My reasoning being is we had it. We had it in our hands. We were 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl. And like you said, you watch that Super Bowl, I wholeheartedly believe that we would have beat the Chiefs and we would have been Super Bowl champions. This year, Philly was scary since their bye week. And I kept saying to Becca, oh man, I don't want to face the Eagles, especially with our injuries. We didn't come out ready or prepared for this playoff game. And then even if we faced the Eagles at home, they would have destroyed us. I feel like we lost more last year. I know we weren't even supposed to be there last year, but I felt like we had a better chance because we came out and did nothing against the Commanders. We weren't prepared, we weren't ready, and I feel we were closer. So I took last year harder, but I will say I had more hopes this year than last year, if that makes sense.
I think that's the reason I took it worse this year, is because this year I had expected it. Even if they didn't win the Super Bowl, I expected them to be there. Okay. Where last year I did not. So when we lost that game, it didn't kill my feeling about the whole season. This year it did.
When they beat the Rams, like he said, he shed a tear. I remember standing up, and Becca looks at me. Are you crying? I'm like, yeah. You don't get you're not grasping the situation of how big this really is for someone who's grew up a fan all their life. And when it happened, and then the Tampa Bay game was just a free square. Hey, that was just icing on the cake. Oh my gosh, we beat them. Now we're in the championship game. It didn't feel real. And then when you just housed them in there, I'm like, oh my God, are we going to go to the Super Bowl? And then it was torn away by a ball off a face mask.
It was, yeah, I agree. Kind of.
Yeah.
I got to say, last year was not as hard as this year, and it's because I didn't expect to win it all last year. It was still in that rebuild phase. It was still in that what can Campbell do? What can this team do? And when we won our playoff game, it's like, wow, we're doing this. And then we won another playoff game. It's like, holy crap, we can maybe do this. Never had expectations, but every week was a surprise, where this year the expectation was there. We did it last year. We get to the NFC Championship game. Why the hell can't we do it this year with an even better roster, with more experience under our coach, with more, synchronization of our team and all this kind of stuff. And as for you saying, you think the Eagles could have handed it to us, I don't know. I mean, their defense is scary, but our offense is scary. And then what are we best at on defense? Shutting the run down. Even with all of our injuries, even Saquon Barkley is probably putting up half the numbers he's normally putting up against our team. Which to say, he's still Saquon Barkley, so he's still going to do crazy good things. He's still going to put 2 or 3 touchdowns on the board. He's still going to run for 150 yards, but he's not having that 250-yard game where he's having against other teams. He's not doing that against the Lions defense. I think that D-line shuts down the run way too well for Barkley to have that breakout game.
Okay, well, I hear you and I see you with that. Here is my rebuttal. You didn't watch the Super Bowl. That's what Kansas City did. They shut down Saquon Barkley. Saquon could not run. Even Jalen Hurts was, when he would scramble out of the pocket, he was not getting any yards. I think Saquon only had 30, 40 yards. But that's the only thing KC could do. They got destroyed. I know I'm not going to get too much into the Super Bowl because you guys didn't watch it. But I'm telling you, it was 27-0. And Philly did not blitz one play the whole game. And Mahomes was running for his life.
That's fine. But like I said, you got to remember, our offense is leagues better than Casey's offense. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll give you that. Yes, they are. They are
have,
better.
What, 2 weapons? We had 7.
Well,
even our wide receiver 3 was putting up numbers that KC couldn't do with our wide receiver 2. I feel like,
I just feel like KC said, "Okay, we're going to shut Saquon down. That's what we're going to focus," and that was the only thing they focused on because, short of that, they did nothing.
Well,
you know that Philly is my B team, so if the Lions weren't there, I was excited the Eagles were there.
B is for biased.
But I will tell you this right now. Had the Eagles not been there, that would have been the most boring Super Bowl. If you were not an Eagles fan, I don't know who was watching that game because it was like a college game.
That's not saying much because I hate college football. So,
even Kelsey looked like a chump.
Well, Kelsey is a chump.
I can't stand him, and it's not even the Swift thing. That just makes me hate him more.
Oh, I actually, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but I encourage the Swifty shit when it comes to the NFL. Do they overdo it? Absolutely, but I encourage the Taylor Swift media press and all that shit when it comes to football because you're bringing new fans into football, and I'm all for it. Not only that, but I like Taylor Swift. I'll admit it.
So when they break up, then all those fans leave.
I don't know. It's
oversaturation.
You're gonna hook some of them.
I didn't mind the Taylor Swift in the beginning, and I like her music. But I'm telling you, the past year and a half, it's like, oh my gosh, please, not Taylor Swift again.
Well, I think she only had like under a minute of television time during.
That's because she got booed.
Yeah.
NFL's like, yeah, I ain't showing this anymore because I'm not going to have that on broadcast or getting booed.
I missed it, but I would like to have seen it.
This year was SFL, Swift Football League.
It was too much. It was way too much.
Pepper and I'm fine with it, but you don't see any other person. There are quarterbacks who are with high, what's the word I'm looking for?
Profile.
Thank you. High profile girls. Haley Steinfeld. She's engaged to Josh Allen.
Who?
You know who Haley. Come on, you have to know who Haley Steinfeld is.
Yeah.
Pitch Perfect. She was in True Grit.
Haley Steinfeld. Let's see.
Come on, you got to know who she is.
I mean, they went after
She's engaged to Josh Allen.
She simply was bringing that younger crowd in there. It's that simple. Well, and I don't knock them for trying that.
Yeah.
But they did it too much.
Haley Steinfeld
turned off too many other people.
So you say Pitch Perfect. Wasn't she like one of the non-talking roles on the Pitch Perfect movies? Like,
no.
Like we haven't talked at all this entire year and like they had one line?
Nope. I believe she was in Pitch Perfect 3. She was one of the legacy. Her mom was in the... If I remember right, her mom used to be in the group, and so she was automatically let into the group because she was a legacy.
She was in Pitch Perfect 2 and 3. But again, like I don't know her.
Wow.
I'm looking at her other movies. She was in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as a voice, so I can't even get there. Romeo and Juliet from 2013, never seen it. True Grit from 2010. I don't know who this is.
Okay.
So you say high profile actress. I gotta.
Maybe it's because I just like her and I'm a huge Pitch Perfect fan. Maybe that's why she's high profile to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's a singer. She's got a couple good songs.
I don't know. She might be the McLovin of high profile. Like, there's not much here that's saying high profile to me. Let's see.
What about Russell Wilson? He was with Sierra. You never seen Sierra all over, plastered everywhere. I mean, he's not as high profile as Travis Kelce now because he stinks.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm just saying, I didn't mind her being peppered in, shown once or twice during the game, but it literally was Swifty watch when the Chiefs played.
Yeah, when the Chiefs played, but, wouldn't you say it's more egregious of the league to have people like Collinsworth, who is literally sucking the taint of Patrick Mahomes when it's not even his game? Oh, look at that sidearm. It's a Patrick Mahomes throw, especially when it's someone that's been in the league longer than him, that's been doing it longer.
He actually gets quite irritating with that shit.
He does.
I'm going to bring up Stafford. You see Stafford make an amazing sidearm throw, and he's like, oh, that was so Mahomes-like. What? Stafford's been doing it since Patrick Mahomes was in high school. Shut the hell up. Like, if you don't have Mahomes to talk about, what are you even talking about, dog?
There are a lot of sportscasters that should not be sportscasters. Romo, I can't stand Romo.
I don't like Romo as a sportscaster. Who? Two of them I really, really love. I love Orlovsky. Safety Dan is a great person to listen to when it comes to like breaking football down. And now, I hate to say it because he has such a punchable face. I'm not a U of M fan, and I'm a State fan. You know where I'm going with this.
Desmond?
No, Tom Brady. Oh. Tom Brady, as much as I hate him because I hate legacies, or I'm sorry, I hate, not legacies, what's the word I'm looking for? Dynasties. And, I'm upset that he's won so many Super Bowls, and he has a punchable face and all this stuff. But gosh, I like him as a sportscaster. I really do.
I'm not a big fan. I even heard our local radio show were saying that like during the Super Bowl he made it all about him. Oh yeah, Mahomes, he probably could come back. I was down at this time before. He like always relays it back to himself. I don't really mind. I just feel like he was robotic. There was one Super Bowl commercial where they changed his batteries, Energizer commercial, and I thought that was so fitting because he was like a robot.
I mean, he looks like a robot.
Yeah.
The plastic surgery and, the fact that he had, I don't know,
It's like he had that surgery where they take the fat from your cheeks and suck up some new thing. I don't know. It just, he looks like he's robotic.
He really does.
But there's a lot worse in the NFL besides him. But he stole the job from Greg Olson, who I thought was fantastic. And kind of peeved about it.
You know who I wish would be a football broadcaster? And granted, he's probably too old to do anything nowadays, but Don Cherry. One of my favorite sportscasters of all time is Don Cherry.
So if you had to come up with your favorite news or sportscaster of all time,
Walter Cronkite. You said newscaster, so let me think of that.
I corrected it. Any sport.
Oh,
all time, who would it be?
Oh, I'm having a mind fart. Who's the one that suck a neck?
Was it Craig McMurrow?
Oh gosh,
Mario and Pemba.
It was the Tigers guy.
Yeah, Rod Allen.
Rod Allen. Yeah.
Take me a second.
Yeah, Rod Allen. Rod Allen from the Tigers would be one of my favorites.
Kell's probably my favorite.
I also really it's just because of the voice, but he was on all the ESPN games back in like Sega and N64 days. But like the guy was like back. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah,
I think one little fight in the booth shouldn't have got him fired though.
Which
Give
one?
the man a second chance.
Which
Rod
one?
Allen.
Rod Allen, yeah.
He should. They shouldn't have fired him.
There's a lot.
I'm more nostalgic. He wasn't a good sportscaster, but I loved Madden. I loved Madden.
Yeah. Oh well.
I can't help
it. He had a
it.
goofy
Did you love
like style.
The way he announced, or did you like him as the character?
That's what I'm saying. I liked him, so I wanted him to do well. And he was sportscasting when I was growing up, and now it probably would irritate me, but I didn't know all the rules, and he kind of taught me football. If that makes sense.
The Lions are going to win this game if they score more points than the other team. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah. Hey, the person who crosses the yellow line will have a first down.
That's who he was. It was a bum.
It was comical. It made you like him.
Yeah, he was such a likable person. So
him
and Pat Summerall. That's
you can compare John Madden to because the way he broke down the game for a 12-year-old. Dora the Explorer on Nickelodeon broadcasting the Super Bowl. Okay,
I thought
this is what a first down is. Soy Dora.
Bob Uecker. What was that baseball team? The movie.
Oh, Major League.
Major League.
Yep.
I mean, they got the perfect guy for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no other person I don't think could have played that role better than them.
You know, as much as I don't know about Bob Uecker, I gotta say, as a Michigander, I like his card game.
What a dumb joke.
You talk about my dad jokes.
Well, I gotta step into the role a little bit. With that being said, I could sit here and talk about sports forever, but we are getting a little late on time, and we probably have like 20 or 30 minutes to break down some chicken tenders and barbecue sauces and probably a couple little things on the outro. So we're going to take a quick break here, warm up some chicken tenders, and we're going to come back with the battle of the barbecue sauces. So we'll be back in a moment. All right. So chicken's cooked. We're going with Tyson brand chicken tenders cut up into nugs. We're going to call them nugs because nugs are fun. We can call them tendies if you want. And we have here 8 different barbecue sauces. These are all original flavor barbecue sauces. Randomize the numbers on the bottom of each dipping cup. I don't know which is which. We're going to taste them, rank them, find out the best of the originals, and then in a future episode, we're going to put the original up against the specialty barbecue sauces, like the spicies, the honeys, the hickories, the etceteras. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to grab one. We have, it looks like, 3 sauces that look dark, 1 mid, and 4 of them are on the lighter side. A few thick, a few thin. I think there's only one or two that I'm going to be able to identify right off the bat. And I think this is one of them right here. So I'm going to taste and pass. If you guys want to talk while I taste, so it's not just me chewing.
Okay. Whoa, that was loud. Setting that plate down. Okay. Yeah, it looks a little dark. By the looks, I cannot tell what type of barbecue this is, but we'll go ahead and dip and pass.
I know what that sauce is immediately. I'm trying not to be biased. Do you guys want me to tell you what it is, or do you just want me to rank it?
Let's just do ranks first. Right. I think I know what it is.
What number's on the bottom of that sauce there, Pops? A little bit of dead air there. It's
4.
Okay. 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Number 4. That is, it's a classic. It's a lot of people's favorites. I'm going to put that right in the middle. It's a good all-around sauce, so I'm going to put that at number 4 to start. 4 at 4.
4 and 4. Okay. I think I know which one this is. I think this is one of my dad's favorites. I like it. It is a good, just a good all-around sauce. I'm going to kind of go with the same number you are kind of right in the middle, number 4.
Make it a triple.
You're going 4 as well?
I'm going 4.
Okay. So 4 is across the board. 4. Okay, and we're going to try the second. This one's a little more thin.
It's a thinner, lighter sauce. It's what I thought it was going to be. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I'm going back to number 1, by the way. The first sauce we tried, number 4 for all of us, that's Sweet Baby Ray's, and we all know that, right?
We all know that.
Without a doubt, that's Sweet Baby Ray's. I don't think it's overly exciting. I think it's a good all-around sauce. I'm not sure I'd rather...
I know this one, too.
...dip it, or if I'd rather...
I think I know what that one is.
See, I thought I did until I tasted it, and then something... I don't know.
I like that one better.
I think that one is a little bit bland, believe it or not, coming off of Sweet Baby Ray's. I'm very confident that first one was Sweet Baby Ray's. That one right there, what number do we have?
That's number 1.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's open pit.
That's where I'm leaning to.
I think it is.
You gotta get your mic further towards you, Tommy.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
I agree that's open pit.
I think that's open pit, and I used to think open pit would have been higher on my rankings, but I think it's just outnumbered by Sweet Baby Ray's and put that at number 5.
You're putting that as a number 5, okay.
I'm going with a 3.
I was debating whether to go 3. I think I am going to go 3.
I've always been partial to it.
Yeah. So, okay, now we have a darker sauce. Looks like on the bottom of the cup it is... Looks like 7. I think we got a 7 here.
7 should have a dash through it. I always do my
you
7s
tell
with
me.
a dash through it.
That looks like a 7.
That is a 2. Forgive my bad handwriting.
Whoa.
So number 2. All right, that one is darker, and it's in between thick and thin.
I think I know what this one is, too.
See, I keep feeling like I know what these are, but this one I'm not so sure about. It's got a fake smokiness to it.
Yes.
I think that's Hunt's.
I don't have Hunts. We have Kraft. I guess we should have went over what we have, but well, I have the master list, but I don't want to cheat and say what's what. Anyway, that is got that fake smokiness. It feels a little unoriginal.
At first, I did like it, but as I kept chewing the chicken and tasting it, I fell out of love with it.
I think I'm going to put that right below the other ones, maybe even lower. I'm going to put that. What do I have? I have 4 and 5.
Yep.
I'm going to put that at 7.
You're going to 7?
6.
6 for you. Oh, man, I hate being like right on with you. I wanted to have a diverse scale here. I was going to go 6 or 7.
6.1.
Yeah, 6.5. I'm gonna go 6.
Yeah, that tasted a lot like Hunt's or the Kraft.
And see now, okay, I don't know what number this one is, but this one is very similar, but a little more peppery, in my opinion. It's hard to say.
What number? Like 3.
3?
Yep.
So.
Smells good.
I think it has a little bit more flavor than the one we just tried.
Yeah.
But not by much. So that's my 6.
That's your 6.
That's my 6.
And what number did I say that was? 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think this one builds more in your mouth as you're eating it.
See, I was going to go higher than the 6 with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that.
I was going to say 2. I think I might go. Oh man, I already used 3.
No, remember you can move these around.
Yeah.
You don't have to lock in where you're at.
I'm gonna say 2 for right now. I'm about to put a question mark on that.
Oh shoot, that's so loud. Anyway,
I'm gonna
next
put
one's
that
here.
one at a 5.
You're going 5.
So next one, we're back to a dark thick sauce. This one, if I didn't taste it, I would have assumed it was Sweet Baby Ray's just in the lighting we have. I really like this one. I don't know what number it was, but I'm not looking at the numbers. I'll let you guys do that. But that one right now is number 1 for me. That one's really good. It's got nice spices. It's peppery. It's got a smokiness to it.
This one smells smoky.
Yeah.
That one's really good. That one's by far my favorite, and that's probably my number 1 right now.
I like that one.
What number was that?
That was number 6, I believe.
Yep.
All right, that is right now my number 1.
This one's got a little sweetness to it.
Next one in my mouth.
So I want to move that one to 2, and I think my last one I'm going to move to. Oh man.
Ooh.
5.
I like this one, but where am I going to put it?
You've used 3, 6, 5, and 4.
Put it at a 2.
You're going to go 2.
This next one here, not a fan.
Not a fan?
It's sweet. It's fake smoky. It's got weird spice flavors. It's thinner than I like my barbecue sauce to be. It's number 7. That's number 8 for me. I do not like that one at all. There's nothing redeeming about that barbecue sauce.
Doesn't even smell good.
I really hope that's a cheap sauce and one that I don't buy regularly because
I'll tell you right now, that goes 8. I don't even have to think
that was a solid 8 for me. Yeah, 7 is at 8. 2 more left. Here we go. We'll let my dad rank that one.
9.
New category, number 9.
So you're going 8 as well, I'm guessing, huh? That's terrible.
I went 9.
So we have 2 more.
Mm-hmm. That one's number 8.
This one's number 8.
So that's right in the middle of like the thickness of the sauce.
That's a 9.
It's about my sweet spot when it comes to where I want my barbecue sauce thickness to be.
Ooh.
That one that's sweet. It's got, I don't know. That one's like a ketchup base, it almost seems. That's just, it seems like ketchup with spices in it and some liquid smoke. I'm not in love with it. Bump everything up, put that at 7 for me.
Okay.
No, that wasn't. No, Tommy. Number 8 was my last one. Whatever the final
8.
one was.
Okay. I'll give this one an 8.
The number we just did was 7, right?
That one just feels like it's really cheap.
That's the number on it.
8.
Yeah.
That was 8? Okay.
This is number 8.
8 is 8.
Yep.
Where did my last one go then?
You went. The last one you went with was an 8. Number 7, you ranked it at 8.
Oh, that's how you're doing it?
Yeah.
Oh. 8 should be... 7 should be 8 for me. 8...
So, the last one you had was better.
You're doing this a little bit backwards for me. That's all. I was
okay.
assuming it'd be different. My number 8 was the one we all ranked last.
Yes.
The one that we just had, so I'm going to bump...
So you would rank that a 7 then?
It's a 7. Number 8 is a 7.
Yep.
And then put my 7 to 6. And then my 6 to 5. Everything's going up a number because I had to replace one.
You didn't like the last one we had, and that was a number 7. You said that was terrible, and you ranked that the worst.
Yes. This one was one notch above that.
Okay, so that's good.
So now my number 2 was a 7.
Yes.
That has to go to 6.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep, and then...
Now my 6 has to go to 5.
And then your...
And my 5 has to go to 4, and my 4 has to go to 3.
Oh, my Lord.
We have one
You're
sauce
not making
left.
this simple, James.
Well, he did it a weird way, and I'll explain to him why he did it weird.
Yeah.
I'll explain why he did it weird in a minute. This is our last sauce, so this is number 5. And that's fun. I have 5 open. This is a thick sauce, but a light sauce.
That one was a 7 for me.
This one looks like ketchup. That one... Again, it's bad. That is a ketchup based with some spices and fake smoke added to it. I do not like it. I'm going to put that one at 6. It's a little bit better than the last one, so I got to bump them all up one more time, Tommy. So number 5 is a 6. And then my 6 becomes, and bump them all up.
Okay.
This one's kind of tasteless.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but it's a little bit better than the bottom ranked one. So, setting cups down on this table with these mics attached to it are so hard.
I'm going to change.
Okay.
The bottom ranked one I had.
Talking to your microphone.
Which is that one.
Talking to your microphone.
Change that.
Yeah.
Move it down to the very bottom.
Okay.
And this one just one above it.
Okay, so this will become a 7 for you. And then you're keeping the one you said was terrible.
This would be an 8 for me here.
Okay.
How many fat guys does it take to rank barbecue sauces?
Well, we don't have producers doing it for us as we're tasting. So.
Yeah, I'm producing for you. You did the list weird, Tommy.
There is definitely a clear loser in this, though.
No, one of them was by far the worst.
Ugh.
That one that we all put at the last place was by far, without a doubt. There should be a whole other category, and that goes into it. Do we have everything tabulated over there, Tommy?
Almost.
Yeah. Waiting for you. In the meantime, this is the list of sauces we have. We have Open Pit, Kraft, Bullseye, Sweet Baby Ray's, Great Value, that's Walmart's brand, KC Masterpiece, Stubbs, and Cattleman's. Cattleman's is a meat market local to us. I don't know how wide that range gets, but they are a wonderful grocery store, a meat market the size of an average grocery store, with an on-site butcher at all times. It's wonderful. If you're from Metro Detroit, check it out. 10 in Van Dyke and Warren, and I believe there's one down by in Detroit by the market.
Yeah, and I'm almost done
Easter Market.
here.
Almost done?
Yeah.
You're taking forever there?
I'm writing the new rankings here.
I'm trying to fill our air here because we
Yeah.
don't want dead air while you tabulate 8 numbers.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, oddly enough, the number 6 cup, we all end up ranking number 1.
All right, number 6 is KC Masterpiece.
Really?
Everyone says KC Masterpiece is the best. That is a surprise. I don't think I've ever purchased KC Masterpiece for my fridge. All right, so
And next highest rank.
well, let's just go. Unless we have everything the same, let's just go through them then.
Okay.
So that was number 1. Let's start with me. What's my number 2?
Your number 2 ended up being what is number 4.
That's Sweet Baby Ray's. So that's a decent sauce. Like I said, I think it's just a good all around sauce. That's all. It's dippable. It's grillable. It's cooking worthy. It's a good one. What is my number 3?
Your number 3 was cup number 1.
That's Open Pit.
Okay.
I grew up on Open Pit. I think that is a superior barbecue chicken sauce. It's not what I want to use on my ribs. That's not what I want to use on my meatballs, but you put that on barbecue chicken with the skin on, that's my sauce to go to. I do prefer the thick and hearty version of Open Pit, but it is still a solid sauce. What is my number 4, Tommy?
Number 4 ended up being 4s across the board. That was the number 3.
Number 3 is Bullseye. A cheap contender sauce. That is $1.50 a bottle, everyone. That is quite a surprise. I used to buy Bullseye from the Family Dollar behind my house when I was low on funds, but now that I know it's a higher ranked, I might go to a little bit more.
I used to always keep a bottle of that in the fridge too, though.
It's good to know it's higher ranked.
Switched between Open Pit and Bullseye.
What's my number 4? Or that was number 4?
Yep.
What's my number 5?
Number 5 would be cup number 2.
Cup number 2 is Kraft. So it's bad, but it's not the worst. That's making me, oh wow, Cattleman's hasn't been hit yet, Stubbs hasn't been hit yet, and Great Value hasn't been hit yet. What's my number 6?
5.
That's Great Value by Walmart. So I didn't expect too much from that. The fact that it's not the worst, oh man.
I cannot believe Cattleman's is this slow because, as you see in my bottle, I use a lot of it.
That's why we do these type of things, to learn that you're doing it wrong the entire time. Here's what's surprising to me. Stubbs is always a highly ranked barbecue sauce. People rave about Stubbs. Maybe it's just us. But anyway, what's my number 7?
Number 7 is 8.
That's Cattleman's. And by and far the worst sauce for me is Stubbs, number 7. Stubbs. It's glass bottle. It's $4 plus a bottle of barbecue sauce of Stubbs. That stuff is highly ranked among people online. Y'all are doing it wrong. You need to get the barbecue sauces in front of you and try them side by side, because Stubbs sucks. It is by and far the worst. Let's go down the list. Jeff, what do we got? Number 1.
He ranked KC Masterpiece. We were all 3 across the board ranked KC number 1.
Okay, so we're all KC Masterpiece for number 1. That's bottle or cup number 6. What's his number 2?
He ranked that number 2, same as me as well. We were right on pace with that. Open Pit.
Open Pit. That's
now you ranked that
1.
number 3, but we did.
So
number 2.
it's a solid sauce. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, I think I docked it because of the thickness of the sauce. I prefer it to stick better. I like it to be saucy. I'm a saucy boy. Half my fridge is dedicated to condiments. Okay, number 3.
This is where you flip-flopped. You put Sweet Baby Ray as 2, but Big Daddy Fresh and me both put Sweet Baby Ray as 3.
Okay, that's cup number 4. What do we got for number 4?
We all went Bullseye with number 4.
Yep, that's right. Number 5.
We all went number 5 with Kraft.
Okay, Kraft. Number 6.
Number 6, me and him, same. We went Cattleman's as 6.
Cattleman's, that's number 8. Okay, 7.
He went Stubbs is number 7, and I ranked that 8.
Okay.
And then he went Great Value at 8, and I went Great Value at 7.
Okay.
But me and his tongues are tastes are right on. You're a little different from us, but do agree that the top 3 are Bullseye. Or I'm sorry, Sweet Baby Ray's, KC Masterpiece, and Open Pit.
So what I'm hearing here is that Cattleman's, go there for your meat, not your barbecue sauce. Great value by Walmart. You got some work to do, but I guess for 90 cents a bottle, that's fine and dandy. And then finally, Stubbs. I'm telling you, I mean, you guys have heard it, right? People rave about Stubbs, but
that was my introduction to it, and I can tell you, I'm not a fan.
That's the first time I've had Stubbs on its
own. You guys
want
to take it home? Go for it. It's a glass bottle. It's twice or 3 times as much as these other sauces, and it falls flat. I do not like it.
No, I am still flabbergasted by the Cattleman's. I'm actually speechless on the Cattleman's because I loved it.
So, you don't think you love it as much as you used to?
Not on a blind taste test, nope.
That's the thing, is the blind taste test makes you understand what's superior. I did this with my fiance, who, and a lot of people do swear Dasani is bad bottled water, and I'm in the boat of it's bottled water. You're not tasting that much of a difference. Blind taste tested her, and I think Dasani came out number 2 as her fucking second favorite. So yeah.
What I find interesting as well is I grew up in my household. Dad always did Bullseye. I thought I would pick that one right out. Oh, that's nostalgia. I know that's Bullseye. I couldn't decipher. I thought I'd end up picking that one as my number 1, but KC won out.
Yeah, surprised about KC Masterpiece. I really am. I guess I'm gonna stock that in my fridge from now on. That was a solid.
Smoke some
sauce.
ribs in that.
Yeah. Well, ribs, I do a dry rub, and I usually use 2 different sauces. I do one sauce, and then I braise it, or I broil it, and then I put another sauce on. So I like to mix it up.
I've never mixed sauces. I do my dry rub.
Do.
And then do the brown sugar with a little bit of apple cider and the butter. Wrap them in tinfoil when I smoke them, and then I sauce them after.
Right on. I'm wholeheartedly when it comes to ribs. Give me fall off the bone ribs. I don't like them to have that bite. I don't care if the master barbecue chefs out there say they have to have that bite. Give me fall off the bone ribs any day.
I like a little tug. I mean, but not. I know what you're talking about when they say the bite. No, I do like that tender fall off the bone, but just when I bite into it, I don't know.
You want that little tug like Becca gives you?
You want the little pull, but you want the bone clean.
Yeah, that's a perfect.
Yep.
Because I've made ribs before where he's talking about fall off the bone. Like when I'm putting it on the plate, the bones are falling out of the rib. That's not my...
I don't mind if the bone just pulls right out, as long as the meat is still somewhat firm, because once it just starts to crumble on me, then I'm not interested.
Then it becomes overcooked.
It's just mush.
I should be able to put three bones on a piece of bread or bun, put a little pressure, and pull those bones out and have a boneless rib sandwich. That's how I want it.
I'd be good with that.
And that sounds good.
As long as the meat itself is not so overcooked that it just doesn't fall apart.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I gotta say, and a lot of people disagree with me, I like my oven-baked ribs. I like them better than smoked ribs. I like them better than grilled ribs. Give me oven-baked ribs. Slow and steady, 6 hours in the oven at 225 degrees. That's how I do it.
Never done.
I gotta disagree because I want mine out on the grill.
I do mine in the smoker, and I haven't changed. I've tried them in the oven, and I've done them in a slow cooker. They were fall off the bone with the slow cooker, but it just didn't have that.
The slow cooker just makes them mush.
I think
perfect
they're
way.
Too moist at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's how our buddy Scott does them, and he came in second to me on a barbecue or a rib off we did a couple years ago. So, I won. So people must like oven baked ribs. That's all I'm gonna say. As you can tell out there, us big boys, we like to talk about food, and we could probably talk about it every episode for the near future.
Mm-hmm. Probably will.
Probably will. I think food is going to be a pretty common theme here on what is it? Meat and potatoes. Monday night meat and potatoes. So I think that about wraps us up for tonight. Appreciate Jeff coming on, Dad, Papa Fresh, whatever you want to call him. Make sure you give us a like, follow, a feedback, a comment. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. Rate, review, rank, blind rank, all that good stuff. We're going to start videoing this in the future, and you want to see some fat boys wear some blindfolds. We'll have to charge for that. But, in the future, make sure you follow us. Make sure you give us a like and a comment. That wraps us up for Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. James, Tommy, and Jeff signing off.